Ryan's a little speed racer. Ryan went to the 6, and he was like, I have some views from the 6. 0 to 100 real quick on the Pucks on Net podcast.
Oh, excuse
Kiki,
me, I would like
do you love me? Do you have cap space? Are you writing?
Excuse me, I would like the spot on the CN Tower that Drake sat in for the iconic album cover of the name Views.
What do you mean there's a 19-year wait list? This is unacceptable. The Leafs are in round 2, and I demand that Aubrey Graham, Jimmy, as people know him to be, Jimmy from Degrassi, wheel his butt all the way up here. No, it's okay. Hey, Toronto, congratulations. You slayed your dragon.
Okay, we get a lot of shots. Everybody come to the net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
I'm about to listen to Pucks on Net.
We used to talk about in Vancouver getting pucks on net.
Pucks on net. What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
This is JT Miller with the Vancouver Canucks, and you're listening to Pucks on Net.
Pucks on net and driving and making it a hard night on them.
Live on tape from a myriad of locations. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast riddled with rampant speculations without sources. A satellite hot stove edition. Myriad, maybe not quite the term used to describe two locations. We'll get to that in a bit. My name is Ryan Schapp. I'm going to be your host for the evening. I'm coming to you from my apartment above the grounds of the old haunted Burger King. If Arash was here and we were in person, he would be sweating bullets. 25.5 degrees inside the hot box.
Oh my God. 20. You monster.
I got the Dyson fan though going. And listen, for those listening and heard Dyson fan, Auto with optimum points. Don't worry about us, folks. We're not making the big bucks, which is why we need you to go to patreon.com/pucksonnet. Dive headfirst into all of Rock'em Sock'em April. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, but 4 installments of watching previous tapes.
Wait, did you go not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, but 4?
Yeah,
that was great. You're such a pro.
You got to trick them. If we can trick you into giving us $5 American a month, we had a hell of a lot of fun producing these. You can get into all of them and join the Pucksnet Discord at patreon.com/pucksonnet. And if you don't want to support the show monetarily, that's fine. Go to youtube.com/pucksonnet. This episode goes up on Monday night. I don't go to sleep until it's posted. Sorry, goes up on Tuesday night. I think I'm just going to release them at the same time because of it being a Tuesday night show. YouTube.com/pucksonnet. Get the show early this week. Watch the beautiful intro. And enough about me blabbing. Let's go over the Ironworkers Memorial Bridge. A couple of potholes in there. Let's head up to the village of Deep Cove. Hey, not my jurisdiction, pal. Mr. Arash Menarzadeh, the Prince of Pomegranate. Arash, how are you doing? It's been a minute. How are you feeling? How are things?
I'm good. Okay, Saturday, for people who don't understand on the Lower Mainland, Saturday was a day in which everyone in this goddamn city treated it like the last day of summer because they know it's going to start raining again. And man, were we busy. Also, for people who don't know, my dad broke his arm lifting a mini fridge. I'm now publicly telling everyone. My dad lifted a mini fridge, broke his arm. He got emasculated. He's like, I'm not... Damn. And I'm like, yeah, it happens to everyone. Don't worry about it. So Tuesday,
and then Arash broke both his legs trying to move the same mini fridge. It was the damnedest thing.
I broke both my legs in anger, like Vince McMahon tearing both of his quads when John Tavares scores the goal, and I'm like, God damn it. This is not... I can't handle Nick Kiprios anymore. But anyway, so yes, my dad broke his arm. Saturday came. One of the busiest days of the year so far. We handled it. It was great. We just sold pizza, no burgers, and it was wonderful. I've never been more proud of my father. For people who've watched the show, you've known my father. You've seen him. He's hilarious. So proud of him. He's such a unit. So proud to be his son. Barring that, I can't really think of anything really happening in the NHL world, so we're just going to talk about JT Miller for a bit.
Hour 3 of which recently eliminated team would have benefited from having JT Miller on their team in this essay.
Listen, I'll stop talking about it once my JT Miller's tweets stop getting like 200 likes. You all love it. You live for it. Shout out Okay, shout out to Matt Baker. Okay, Bakes Takes, who I think didn't understand for a second. That
Far be it from me to be able to detect sarcasm on my timeline.
He was like, well, unless you were in the room, you would never know. Blah blah this, and I'm like, I'm this. Have you seen my feed?
I saw his response. I did like the.
It was the beer
tip.
classes. The tip. I'm like, yeah, just.
I understand.
I know I'm new to this space, guys. I'm not here. We gotta laugh about it. Okay, Ryan. So we're talking about this on Tuesday. The speed running through it. Toronto does it. Toronto defeats Tampa Bay in 6 games. I'm gonna say great for them. Fantastic. Great for the people of Toronto. Great for the fans of Toronto. They are now against the Florida Panthers. They avoided the second stronger, more Dunkin' Donuts filled Dragon. We'll talk about that one in a second. Toronto is now facing Florida. They unfortunately lost their game today, I believe 4-2. I watched the game. That Florida forecheck, man, they have that piss and vinegar of being like, no one believes in us. Screw you. We're gonna go for it. Sergei Bobrovsky has some juice left. I love that. He's got juice. He's got some juice, man.
No one believes in a team that's less than about a year removed from winning the President's Trophy and upgrading their top 6 immensely. Yes. But carry on. Yeah.
So great for the city of Toronto. They're down 1-0 in the series against Florida, though. I said it before. If the Toronto Maple Leafs lead their dragon, I am going to be clapping and cheering them on, and I am going to be doing the exact opposite that I believe West Coast fans want to do, which is, Ryan, we don't have the dry erase board yet, right? The chalkboard.
It'll be here next week. I assume we'll record in person.
Okay,
we'll
so
have.
I'm gonna pre-curse this. That's me.
We're at 0 again.
We're at 0 again. Days referenced since the 2011 Stanley Cup final. I'm not gonna do the thing where it's like, oh well, they didn't cheer for us, so I'm not gonna cheer for them. No, this is the same with the Bo Horvat thing. We're gonna be better. We're gonna be bigger people. We're gonna hold ourselves high. And we're going to cheer for Toronto, and we're going to say, hey, you know what? Good for you. Edmonton, we'll see. If it goes Edmonton-Toronto in the final, oh, baby.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
That's some fantasy booking.
I'm not going to be wearing Toronto Maple Leafs gear and stuff, but I'm going to be cheering for this Canadian team, for that fan base whom I know when it comes down to shove, they have suffered. They have suffered a lot. And I'm just gonna do I'm not gonna do the eye for an eye thing. So I'm just gonna say, hey, go Leafs, go. Hope you guys make it through. Keep going. You have a path, which
pretty good one.
You have a pretty damn good path. Like if Carolina bounces New Jersey somehow, I'm not a big Carolina Hurricanes believer this year just because of their injuries, but
it's funny. You mentioned the fans. Like I was in Toronto over the weekend, and I was at a brewery in Etobicoke in the heart of Ford Nation who sports wasn't their vibe, so I literally had to log into their smart TV with my Sportsnet login.
What?
Well, if I need to log into
Ontario.
They clearly this was the first hockey game they put on in this joint. So if I get my notification that there's too many sport devices using my Sportsnet now, then I'll bring them up. But I think everything's fine right now.
Yeah.
But it was pretty sad because we jollily walked back to friends of ours' place, and like a lot of businesses had like set up closed down shop and were like watching the game in there, in wherever they were, and like just a lot of Tavares and Matthews jerseys of people doing the Charlie Brown walk, and I'm like, man, when you think about it in a very broad strokes, joking matter of dumping on this team, it's kind of funny. But when you see it in person, I'm like, man, I've been there. I remember my first Canucks heartbreak when real Canucks heartbreak when they blew it against Minnesota. And I was picking up all my bobbleheads off the table because they had to go in a certain order for every game. And my dad was just jaded, and he's just kind of finding it funny. He's like, hey, There's always next year. And like so I feel that's like my gripe has never been with the team. Like it's a reasonably likable team, fun to watch, and the fans. I mean, there's just they have the most fans probably, but like my gripe is always with the Toronto coverage. Like we had, they do it on Saturday night. I got my ear to the street. I walk past Maple Leaf Square. I can feel the tenseness in the town. So it was a nice big relief. But like, Bar Down puts out this strange, unusual Photoshop
the
of
Sundin Matthews photo.
Oh, yeah, Austin. If you haven't seen Austin Matthews shaking hands with a Photoshop of Matt Sundin, and a couple of things. I get where they're coming from. I get it. I get the plot. Number one, that photo is like not that old. Number two, it makes it seem like Matt Sundin is like dead or something, and he's very much alive.
Very much alive. Still here.
And like
his best years were in a Canucks uniform, I'd like to argue. Thank you.
And I'm like, all right, just chill. But I will say, I'm plugged in. I'm watching a lot of coverage. It's not too dumb. I think the media in this town and specifically in that market has kind of reined it in. Like it's they've calmed down a little bit. They've matured. So it's fun to watch. Hockey, playoff hockey is the best. Just when Canadian teams are in it, and Canadian teams have a chance. And another thing, if the Leafs can get out of the second round, baby, the Arizona Coyotes could play in the Mullet Arena for the rest of time. They're going to make so much money. Dude. The NHL and Rogers, there is going to be the flat cap. That is going to be a term that we don't remember anymore. The flat cap is going to be the Microsoft Zune, and we're going.
They're going to get rid of the salary cap. If Toronto,
there will be no cap.
If Toronto makes it past round 2, Gary's going to come out and be like, "Yeah, we're not going to have a salary cap anymore. We're giving it up. There's too much money. I've never seen this much money." Joe Biden, Smoking Joe, called me and said, Gary, Gary, we can't print enough dollars to accommodate you. Will you take gold from Fort Knox?
The NHL, yes, I will. The NHL offices in New York is going to be like that. Their house in Blow when they're just counting and stacking all the money.
Okay, I'm going to make the nerdiest reference. It's going to be like no, you know what it's going to be? No, not even that nerdy. I was going to make a Watchmen reference, but I'm going to change it up. It's going to be like Stark Tower from the Avengers. It's just like the biggest building in New York with like what would Gary just Bettman Tower. He's just living at the top. Like he has so much money, he literally has an Iron Man suit. He can show up to any game or across the continent. Yeah, for sure, 100%. And hoping they go a long way. Hoping that when a Canadian team is in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's always wonderful. Moving on from that, quickly, let's try and touch on this as fast as we can. So Edmonton.
Oh, hang on, we got to give our picks.
Okay, but let's talk about it and then we'll give our picks.
Sure, okay.
Let's
because
go.
Gita's not here this week, but she did text me her picks. She was a game time decision. Nod to Mr. Paris. But she texted me her picks, so we're all going in. And if you're following us on Twitter, PucksNetCA or PucksNetCA, you'll see that I am leading our little pick'em pool, and Arash is down in the cellar with started from the bottom, and he's still there.
Okay, fuck me for believing.
Did the Carolina Hurricanes have enough to stifle Bo Horvat?
Are we going to talk about Bo
they do.
Horvat? Are we going to talk about Bo Horvat for a second?
No, I was listening to 32 Thoughts on the way to work, and they're like, he's got to be more dangerous for $8.5 million. I'm like, wow, shit, that's all you got to say about that.
$8.5 million.
That's all you got to say about that.
8 years. That alone. Okay, good luck to Bo. I hope you do well, and I hope your career goes great. Okay, never mind.
Glad you got the bag.
Glad you got the bag. Glad we're now paying for it. Edmonton,
Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Connor McDavid. So Edmonton defeats Los Angeles. Good for Edmonton. That's wonderful. Now they play. Where are they playing?
Vegas.
They play Vegas. That's going to be cool. That's going to be great. I wonder how the goaltending for Vegas is going to hold up. Eichel versus McDavid. That's going to be great. Hey!
Only took 8 years.
Only took 8 years. So we'll see with that. I look at, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Vegas is kind of like a slightly upgraded version of Los Angeles, just in terms of their structure and how they play. Goaltending is a little off kilter because I don't know if Laurent Brossoit or I don't even know who's like they have Brossoit, they have Quick, they have Aiden Hill, they have Logan Thompson. I don't know who's going to start, who's injured, whatever. We'll see how that series goes. That starts, I think, tomorrow or in a couple days.
Yeah, Vegas is going to go with the hot guy, and then Edmonton's going to go with the guy that's not named Jack Campbell. It's a sound strategy.
Oh my God, man! What did I say? They need a 9-10, 9-15 goalie, and Stuart Skinner's giving them that. So good for them. Next series up, Ryan, Dallas, Seattle. So Seattle dethrones Colorado, destroying every single playoff pool pick outside of, I think, one of the Puck Soup kids. Someone. I saw someone got both the upsets in, and I was like, whoa, we should fold this podcast.
I picked Seattle, so
Okay. Right.
on the last day of the season, or like the 11th hour, my pick'em bracket was originally Dallas beating Boston for the cup.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I panicked, and now it's Boston beating Edmonton for the cup. I'm like, but it's going to be, this is a fun series. Spoiler alert, we have it on right now, midway through the second, 4-2 Seattle. It's not going to affect who I'm going to pick, and but it is great to see. It's nice, the bargain basement guys that they picked up off waivers or traded for nothing, where you kind of look at hockey DB and it's like, well, where the hell did these guys come from? And it's like, honestly, it's just you find some jam with some guys that believe in a system and believe in themselves, and a goalie gives you 915 save percentage, you're going to be just fine.
Ryan, I have a quick thing for you. Just very quick. I just need your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure someone's going to yell at me for bringing it up. So Bjorkstrand gets moved for a third and a fourth. He's getting paid $5.4 million. I'd say he's a perennial 20-goal scorer at this point in his career. He's very good.
Yeah.
Lethal shot. He was crazy in that elimination game. Or not the elimination. Yeah, the Game 7. Could have had 5 goals alone.
Hit about 45 posts.
So he had some term left on his contract. Brock Besser. Why can't they move Brock Besser? I don't understand this.
Because
I don't
Bjorkstrand
understand how another team for 2 years left at 6.6 looks at Brock Besser and is like, oh, this guy put 55 points up. He looks like a 20-goal guy. He might not play with the same lethal shot and speed and is quite in a different style to Oliver Bjorkstrand, but it's like, we got bombarded for so long being like, they're going to have to trade multiple first-round picks for Brock Besser to be moved. I just I don't know. Thoughts?
Bjorkstrand makes a lot less, a considerable amount less money than him.
$1.2 million less. Just 1.2.
And
if the Canucks retain that, then let's say they retain 1.2 million.
I feel Bjorkstrand's a little more dynamic and
a lot more speed, and more lethal shot. Yeah.
And Brock's all potential, figuratively and literally. And it's just, man, imagine what he could do with this. Imagine if he could do with that. And it's always ifs and buts with him, and it's just, and if he could have been traded, and if that would have happened by now. But he wants to stay here, and now, as I've said on a previous podcast, as soon as he says he really wants to stay and win and contend here, get out. Heel turn. Get out.
Anytime I need content, I just bring up Brock Besser to Ryan, and he just zooms. Okay, that's great. So currently Seattle up 4-2 in the second period. See how this game goes. We watched another Game 7. So the Rangers and Devils.
I loved it.
Rangers complete no-show. No-show, top to bottom. No-show.
Yeah.
Crazy. You trade for Patrick Kane. You trade for Vlad Tarasenko. Tyler Mott. Again. Alexei Lafreniere. Ghost town.
Yeah.
And Akira Schmidt, the 22-year-old goaltender with the greatest name Just the fact it's Akira. How many do they not have an Akira like themed shirt yet? You know, the
They
Japanese
better.
animated.
I mean,
film
they're the
character.
Devils. They're a cool franchise. They'll do it.
They're cool.
Fifth
Yes.
rookie goaltender in NHL history to record a shutout in Game 7.
So good.
Carey Price, Ilya Brizgalov, Felix Potvin, and Glenn Resch.
Beautiful. But yeah, Rangers, we'll see. Looks like Gerard Gallant might be getting the kick out of the door. We'll see there. Really disappointed with the Rangers. I just, I thought, wow, you got Igor. You have depth. You got young kids. You got a decent defense going up there led by Adam Fox. And then just a no-show against the it's crazy, man, with the Devils, man. They are, not only are they relentless, but that Andre Palat pickup, him just so many clutch moments coming in for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was clutch in that Game 7 for that Michael McLeod goal. Clutch pass to give it to him in front of the net to make that little dipsy doodle move to beat Igor Shesterkin. And Devils move on, and yeah, man, hell yeah. I know Dougie's gonna take everyone to the museum and be like, tickets are on me, fellas. Let's go watch some art.
But it's going to be a matinee. It's a little more affordable.
Little affordable, and Dougie needs his nappy nap. That's what it is. I am a firm believer in, if you got something cooking, if you got something going well, if it ain't fixed, don't break. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. And the Rangers were looking good and were playing as a consistent bunch.
They were great in that game. Sorry, in that Game 6, they were great.
Yeah, but leading up to it, leading up to the playoffs, they were playing outstanding. The kid line was back together, and they were cooking. And who are we talking about not showing up in the playoffs? And it's the kid line. And you add such big threats. You add guys to your top line, your second line, and your fourth line in Tarasenko and Patrick Kane and Tyler Mott. Like, you shift guys down the lineup or out of the lineup that were huge contributors to your success and your chemistry in the run when it matters most. So to quote another Vince McMahon, the Rangers screwed the Rangers. I have no sympathy for Gerard Gallant or whoever their GM is now. You brought in way too much that you didn't need, and you made this let's forget about Patrick Kane's discretions, and Showtime is back on Broadway now. Like, get out of here. Like, I'm glad that they shit the bed as messily as they did, and it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch. There's a lot of players on the Rangers I like, but great to see. I love watching the Devils play hockey, and I am glad they smoked them and literally shut them out in Game 7.
I was watching the game, and I'm sorry to bring it up again. I was watching the game, and I just kept thinking to myself, yeah, the Rangers need JT Miller.
Penguins just need JT Miller.
No, I was watching the Rangers. I'm like, damn, they need their piss and vinegar. Like, this game needs some JT Miller. I'm going to dangle through 4 people and like hit and just like smash my stick, kind of like rah, let's go.
Yeah.
Not going to bring up any speculation, but yeah, Alexei Lafreniere.
I don't want him now.
I mean, I'll take him, but of course, reduced minutes. Yeah, he's playing on the kid line, but Tarasenko and Kane are there. Yeah, wow, that is. I don't know. We'll see this summer. I feel like stuff's gonna cook. Some really cool stuff's gonna cook this summer. People are too passive last year. I know we had a couple bombs, but stuff's gonna cook this summer. So keep an eye on that. What other games have? I'm trying to think. What other series do we need to talk about that we missed?
Canes and Devils. That series is split. Their season series was a split. It's going to be a confusing series to watch. Same color jerseys.
Yeah.
Going to be fast as hell, and it's going to be fun
for sure. Again, people know I'm not a huge fan of the Canes, but we'll see with that, and let's see if they can get through their injury woes. Quickly touch on we talked about Dallas, but Dallas, Minnesota. The series that everyone forgot. Not a great series. The first game 1 or the first few games were good, but then it was like, this is kind of a all right.
They're your fathers. They're our parents. Minnesota Wild. They are. You know what? I'm sure they have great hockey fans, but man, they just They can't really do that much, and they continue to not do that much.
It is really tough. Those buyouts. Those
Yeah,
buyouts are really like, especially considering they haven't hit yet, and so Bill Guerin is, this year was like, well, I can't take on term, and I have to be smart, and they re-signed Marcus Johansson for 2 years at $2 million, which I thought was a tidy little piece of business. So he was a good little top 9, middle 6 pickup for them, and I thought that was great. So condolences to the Minnesota Wild. Well, Brock Besser's going to be great in your uniforms next year.
Yeah, because they have all the salary cap in the world to acquire Brock Besser.
Yeah, well, not with that kind of attitude, Ryan. Can you just you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give a little dose of realism. You went to Toronto, got jaded. You got jaded, pal.
I saw what real sports fans were like.
Did you go? Did you go by the Kenny versus Penny house again or no?
No, I was gonna go to Goldfield's store.
Yeah.
But it's kind of up and out of the way, so I'll save that for another time. Let's get into picks, Arash. Yep. Again, I am ahead of Gita by 1 point. I have 17 points. She has 16, and Arash in third with 9. And
oh God! Thank God I've won every other pool I've been in this year. Ooh.
I went 7 for 8 in picks. I had a feeling about Seattle, and it was purely when I heard that Cale Makar was week to week in the final month of the regular season, and then is like, oh, he's ready for game 1. I'm like, that guy's not ready. If you're week to week, you are not ready for game 1. You are just injected with enough Toradol to anchor PP1.
Get the boot on.
And you know what? It's like without Landeskog, with the unhealthy Makar, the strange case of Valerie Nikushkin, that team wasn't there, and that's fine. But anyway, we're gonna give our first round picks here. Let's start in the game we're watching right now. Dallas Stars versus Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
Who do you got in this one, Arash?
I got Dallas. I feel this game 1. Jake Ottinger's not playing that well, but I think that's a bit of an outlier. I have Dallas in 7. I have a lot of respect for the Seattle Kraken. Man, they come at you in waves.
Yeah.
They just are unrelenting. They can score in droves. They believe in themselves. And Philip Grubauer seems to have kind of gotten his little bit of his mojo back, but we'll see. Vince Dunn's doing great as well. But Dallas, man, I believe in Jake Ottinger. Rupe Hintz is a unit. He's having such a great playoffs. Little Joe's doing great. Joe Pavelski, he's running down the clock. And, so I don't know. I'm just not going to bet against the Dallas Stars, but we'll see in the third round who comes up. But I got Dallas in 6.
Yeah, when we're recording, it's 4-2 Seattle in the second, and this is kind of expected. A lot of teams that have finished highly emotional and competitive, long series, and then get thrown right into the next one. Kind of keep that spark still going before they kind of come back to reality. The adrenaline kicks off. Yep. Reminds me of Winnipeg in 2018, taking game 1 against Vegas, and then that was it for them. I wouldn't say that's the same situation with Seattle, but I'm taking Dallas. I'm taking Dallas in 6. I feel like they can win the Stanley Cup this year, and it's fun to watch. I look forward to following Seattle more this round, and remind me.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt a little bit?
What?
The whole Pacific Northwest thing that we're like, damn. That's what it feels like.
No, because I was kind of thinking about that, and if a lot of the media in our market is asking to Canucks fans how they feel about this, and I'm like, man, if the Canucks ownership got a expansion team tomorrow, if Seattle already existed, they got the 32nd franchise. They would do everything they could to be a win-now team. There were a lot of big names that the Kraken just passed on, like Tarasenko was a key one, and several others. And it's I just feel like this ownership would not do the smart thing or the right thing, and they would just go win now. So it doesn't bother me. Good for them. They're doing something the right way, And until there's a legitimate rivalry between the two teams or fan bases, it's just they're the closest.
Yep. Amen.
Gita has Dallas in 6 as well.
Ooh, Gita copying my homework. She obviously knew.
You said Dallas in 7.
I did. Yes, I know, but
Vegas versus Edmonton. Fun little
this
stat
one's
here.
tough, man.
I know regular season records don't mean dick in the second round of the playoffs. Edmonton did go 3-0-1 over Vegas in the regular season. We'll touch on it in Saucer or Toss It, but the Leon and Connor show is absolutely incredible. But the Oilers are getting what they need from people not named Connor and Leon, and I'm pretty happy for them, and it's pretty nice to see. I'm going to pick right off the bat. I'm going I'll go Edmonton.
Yeah, see, this is tough because you're
7
like,
games.
Yeah, I don't know. This is really tough, Ryan. Because Vegas did make mincemeat out of the Winnipeg Jets, though Winnipeg kind of imploded upon himself. They just
based on the comments being said and then the comments being doubled down on, you can see why they weren't working as a unit.
Man, I'll say Edmonton in 7. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of these series are going to come down to one thing because now we're getting to really evenly matched teams. Yeah, I'll say Edmonton in 7.
EDM in 7.
EDM in 7, man. Tiesto in 7. Let's go.
That's Arash's favorite theme night out at the bar.
Yeah, he got it. That's me. That's what everyone knows me as, Mr. EDM.
At 7.
That's 7.
Gita picks Vegas in 7 games.
Oh, Gita's totally gonna be right. God damn, I should just listen.
Let's go to the East Coast now. Game 1 has happened.
Yes.
I will say this. I mentioned to my coworker, who I believe has or does listen to this show, my thoughts. I will stick with them. Toronto versus Florida. Again, we're all stoked for the monkey to be shaken off the back of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Very stoked. Congratulations, Toronto, again, but there's more than one round.
I also, I'm glad the easy narrative of what not to do, how to not build a team, how to, it's no matter what you do, the Leafs are going to lose in the first round. We can always laugh at them instead of looking at ourselves and, here in Vancouver. I'm glad about that. We all forgot and underestimated. This reminds me a bit of the LA Kings. Mm-hmm. Great season, good team, bad season, comes in as the 8th seed.
That's the Kendrick Lamar album. Good team, bad season.
Hell, that's the name of the episode?
Dang, man. Good team, bad season, man.
It absolutely trounces the Canucks, the President's Trophy Canucks. Oh, boy, the comparisons continue. And people forget. And we forgot how good the Lightning were last year, how stacked they were. A couple people were shuffled out. A couple of key people were brought in and paid big bucks, and it's working out. They are big and mean and can play a hell of a good game, and there's a lot of threats. There's a lot of former Flames that are really happy to not be playing in the Saddle Dome there. Mm-hmm. So I made this prediction before the game started, walking out of work. I'm taking Florida 6 games.
Wow. Whoa. Ryan, with the anti-6 fire, you went to Toronto and you're like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I was rubbing elbows with people coming in Sunday morning with their chapeau de Leaf. No knock against the team, but I watched Ilya Samsonov let in some very leaky and questionable goals tonight. Sergei Bobrovsky is still a great goalie, and they still got a wonderkin that got them into the playoffs this year. So it comes down to goaltending in the playoffs. I'm not worried about Florida at all.
Yeah, this is a little tough. It's also tough knowing that Florida's up 1-0 in this series. Man, I wish I gave this a bit more thought. That's really tough because watching the game tonight. Florida is just relentless. Like, they're just relentless. Like, their forecheck game is incredible. Matthew Tkachuk is just, man, oh, God damn it. No. From the
Save that for Sauce or Toss It.
Hey, from the London Knights, the Vancouver Canucks select. Guess who? We need a defenseman.
Ole, yeah, from the
Ole,
London.
you love it.
Same
Oh.
team.
Mikhail Sergachev, get out of here. No way. I went to one junior tournament, and Ole Ulevi was good, so we're going to pick him. Oh, God. Damn it, Ryan. You're putting me on the spot. I will say Toronto in 7. I just feel like they have to know their opportunities here. They have
Totally.
to know, like, this is the moment. This is it. They got to turn it up, and I was impressed with them against Tampa. In that Game 6, they came into that overtime bat out of hell, controlled everything, threw everything at the net. My one concern is, like, the emotional drop off from winning round 1, where it's like you guys blew it up, and you're like, yeah. The city's like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, we got the cup, right? And I don't know. So I'll say Toronto in 7, just to show fellow Leafs fans that listen to our modest little program that I believe in you.
Gita also picked Toronto in 7, and how could she not when every time they win, they cut to Kyle Dubas, who's just lovingly embracing Jason Spezza.
Yeah, because he's like, I still got a job. I still have a job. And it's like the Wolf of Wall Street thing. Can I swear, Ryan?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to? He's like,
this week, yes.
He's like, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Oh,
Jason Spezza's just like, yeah.
They're gonna have to get the armed guard to take me out of this place. Yeah, so that was called Davis. Jason Spezza being like, what the hell is okay.
Final series, Carolina Hurricanes versus New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
Tee this one up for me.
So we have Carolina who's coming in again. A lot of injuries to their top forward group: Max Pacioretty, Andrei Svechnikov, Teuvo Teravainen. They have an amazing defense led by Jacob Slavin, Brett Pesce, Brent Burns, Shane Gostisbehere, Brady Skey. Skeet. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Skeet.
Mr. Skeeter.
Where's a throwback for you, millennials?
Yeah.
Elder millennials.
Elder Lil John to the windows. So they have some stuff, but they really impressed against the Islanders, whom again for some reason their prized acquisition didn't show up. The New Jersey Devils, those kids can play. They can play.
Yep.
And they didn't let Jack Hughes is legit. They didn't let the moment get ahead of themselves. That being said, I have the Devils in 6. I feel like they're Rod the Bod's team and amazing structure, but man, this is not going to be anything like the Islanders. Like I just don't know if Antti Ranta, amazingly talented talented goaltender when healthy. Freddie Anderson, again, great talented goaltender when healthy, but also I wasn't. I had I kept track of Freddie Anderson this year. Not that impressed. So we'll see who gets to the net, and we'll see how it goes. But I have the Devils in 6 personally.
Okay, Rash has the Devils in 6. I'm quickly going with Carolina in 6.
Hey.
And somebody in passing who I trust said the Devils could be, or the Canes could be the next cup favorites.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Okay. The person who said that, has never watched a Canucks game in his life.
I don't know how much magic's in that old Silcat in the swamp in Jersey, but I could be dead wrong. But this one, I'm gonna go with. I feel like the defense core on the Hurricanes can do a bit more.
All right, pal. We'll see.
Let's take a break there.
Love it.
And we'll come back, and we'll play America's favorite game show.
The Purge?
That's right. Hot NHL Stanley Cup playoff version of the Purge. Right after these plugs.
Oh my God, pal, was you okay?
Yeah, little allergies.
Oh, allergies.
Your recording still looking good?
Yeah, I'm good. I haven't really. I've only gotten in the red a couple times when I've been really animated. So
What a guy. All right, Arash, it's time. Well, you just heard the theme song. You just heard Matty Prince's theme song. It's time for Sauce It or Toss It.
Yeah.
We're manifesting. We're manifesting good vibes for the teams we want to succeed. We're manifesting to not have feelings for other teams, as we do on this segment. And we're gonna have a good time this week. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us this far into the podcast. Once again, if you want to support the show monetarily with a couple of bucks, patreon.com/pucksonnet. You can watch all of our installments of Rock'em Sock'em April, where we watch old Don Cherry highlight compilation videos through modern lens, through 2023 eyes. A lot of the conversations aren't exactly that endearing towards the confused old grandpa, but the nostalgia of the clips are more than enough for us. You can also join the Pucksnet Discord that way. You can also listen to 5 Minutes for Paying. You can watch 5 Minutes for Paying. You can get immediate access to video podcasts and just about everything that we can offer you. It's a pretty good service, all for $5 American a month. If you don't want to support the show monetarily, though, I completely understand. But if you can, patreon.com/pucksonnet. Every dollar that that you spend on the show, it gets reinvested back into this podcast. We want to make it as good as possible for you. You can also, again, if you don't want to support the show, go to youtube.com/pucksonnet. Hit subscribe, smash the bell, everything. And that's a great way to help us out. You can watch our content there. You can like, you can subscribe, you can comment. You can do that on Instagram and TikTok. We are there on a very regular basis. You can follow us on Twitter if it still works at PucksNetCA or PucksNetCA. Just do what you can to help grow the footprint of the show. Tell a friend, tell a hockey fan, tell somebody that likes good conversation and banter. Help us grow this podcast because we love doing it. We love interacting with listeners. We love hearing from listeners. We love creating that community in the Pucksnet Discord. And that's all we ask. Now let's get back to the show.
Sauce it or toss it. Sauce it or toss it. Sauce it or toss it.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. Western Canada will forever be haunted by the passing on of Matthew Tkachuk.
Toss. Wait. Can you phrase that correctly? What do you mean
Western Canada?
What do you mean, like the Canucks?
Will forever be haunted for giving up on Matthew Tkachuk.
You mean like the Canucks not picking him and Calgary trading him? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, sauce that. Yeah, I'm already talking to my therapist about it. I already tweeted about it, so you know it's real. It's great. I know a lot of the argument is like, well, if the Canucks picked him, he would have left. I'm like, yeah, but we still had him for like this many years. Could you imagine? Okay, I have a PTSD thing for you. Imagine Jim Benning handling the Matthew Tkachuk trade. And the podcast is over because Brian has just imploded with the energy of a dying star.
Arash, sauce it or toss it. Kyle Dubas's job security is bulletproof through the calendar year 2023.
Yes. Yeah. It's the blue. They're going to run it back. If anything happens, he got him out of round 1. It's better than anyone since 2004, since I was in grade 8 or 9. However that's done, depending on what calendar year you start at.
Quick question.
Yeah.
If the Leafs get swept versus Florida,
yeah,
do they fire Dubas?
No, I don't think so.
Do they fire Keith?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man, they already got they that was their dragon though, right? So
yeah.
It's so interesting that when Florida beat Boston, I was like, man, like they got a path. But the thing is, Maple Leafs got to know you good. You did your thing that you really wanted to do, which was get out of round 1. But now you also have to understand you have a path. Like you have a legit. It's not just like the joke was Boston. Boston's not here. You got a path, kid.
Yeah, Carolina and not New Jersey waiting for you on the other side.
Yeah, figure it out.
Hey. Sauce it or toss it, Arash. The New York Rangers tinkered too much.
Sauce. Yeah, you just had to make new Coke, didn't you? They just had to. I think they tinkered in the wrong ways. I don't know what Vladimir Tarasenko and I mean Patty Kane had a good series, but again, like Patrick Kane for all extensive purposes this year, analytically is like the worst defensive forward in the NHL.
I saw the Jay Fresh.
Yeah, the Jay Fresh
article.
Like, I don't know. It's just you added more of the same, and you added too much, and I'm just gonna like I'm not saying JT Miller, but like you needed a JT Miller type guy.
Yeah,
you needed that. Like Artemi, I'll say this: like where's as much as we talked about Alexis Lafreniere, where's Artemi Panarin?
Yeah,
2 points.
That's a top line that doesn't show up.
No,
that's a top line. Well, they don't get their hands dirty.
Kreider's really good at elimination games.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just did not show up. And after that game 6-2, really surprising. But yeah, they tinkered in the wrong ways, I think. More Tyler Motts.
Yeah, more My Girl Summers.
Yeah.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. Playoff Draisaitl is better than regular season McDavid.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. So we're gonna toss this because Connor McDavid put up 153 points, right? That's I had this discussion with someone who came into my shop who's the son of one of my really good friends, and
were you yelling at a child again?
No. We're just hanging out. I just have like in perspective, like the benchmark for Gretzky was 200 points.
Yeah.
Put McDavid in the 80s or 70s and 80s. Enough said. Like there's no they would literally be like, you cannot belong to one team.
If Connor McDavid was born in 1958, he wouldn't be drinking BioSteel for breakfast. He'd be drinking Labatt Blue and eating 4 hot dogs as a pregame like he's Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, he just in his like shag carpet house. But I'm just saying, I think that McDavid is turning into.
Yeah, he is.
I hate to say it, but I'm like, like one of, if not arguably the greatest offensive forward of all time. Maybe
purely skill, yeah. Of
pure
ability.
Like purely skill, can play 30 minutes and not be gassed. Terrifying, like changes how teams completely play their systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, about 153 points in 2023. Like come on. Prorate that. That's absurd.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. Mike Babcock, NHL head coach in 23-24.
Sauce, come on. I know we hold the old boys club in really in really low regard, but man, come on, Babs isn't coming back.
So you're tossing it.
You don't run. Last time I tossed someone, there's Mitch Marner under the bus. I'd do it again. Okay, how do you feel about that? If I had 2 buses, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna?
Who am I? I'm gonna toss you under both.
I'm gonna rent 2 U-Hauls. I'm gonna toss you under both. We're gonna get skateboards. We're gonna kick clip over you. How are you gonna react, Mitchie? I don't know. I've been playing a lot of skate. Give me a break.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. The Seattle Kraken opting for "Let's go Kraken" instead of "Let's get Kraken" is disgusting.
Yeah. Let's get Kraken, baby.
So you're saucing that too.
I'm saucing it. Let's get Kraken's a bit better. You do have to be very careful because I remember when they first came in and nicknames for Kraken fans and like people were
the Crack House,
something like that. Yeah. I'm like, come on, guys. Let's get the 4chan humor out of here. But yeah, there's so many. I'm like waiting for. I'm like, when are they gonna get Liam Neeson to come in and say release the Kraken? That's when they do that, I am throwing away all my Canucks jerseys and be like, yep,
That's all it takes.
I love Pearl Jam.
You're a sucker for celebrities, Arash.
Sucker. I'm a sucker for memes.
Speaking of celebrities, Sauce it or toss it, the Canucks do not have any cool potential celebrity owner, much like Seattle, much like what could happen in Ottawa. Sauce it or toss it.
Toss. They got Bublé.
Who cares about Michael Boob? No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. I like boobs. Bublé.
Why?
Sorry.
Clip it. Get a text.
No, so we got Bublé
in here.
Wait, no, we got Bublé. We got Ryan Reynolds.
He's buying the Senators.
He's fine. Who else? Grimes. Grimes could buy the Canucks.
I'm pretty sure there was a prenup.
Okay, shit. God damn it. God damn it, Claire. Why'd you sign the prenup? I'm trying to think. Who other really cool Vancouver celebrities? Colby Smulders? She has Avengers money.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any powers. She's just really good at espionage. Man, come on, Ryan, help me out. Not Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams would probably do it. I don't know how much money Chad Kruger's probably got a lot of money, but he doesn't have
I don't think I could handle going to Rogers Arena if Chad Kruger bought the. I don't think I can handle that white male Fraser Valley energy. I don't think I would be able to.
Also, like Ryan Reynolds, invested in a tech company and bought. He's got real money. I mean, how you remind me is on a lot of radios, but I don't know how much money he's got.
I think he's got a bit of money. He's got Mint Mobile. Welcome. He got Wrexham, and they got promoted and stuff. So he's being smart with his money. But yeah,
he's doing just fine.
Yeah. So I'll say Bublé. I like Bublé. I wouldn't be Bublé would absolutely be like, listen, I'm too busy crooning and selling soda water. I'm not going to... You do you, guys. I am not going to interfere. I'm not going to tell you to play AC/DC. I don't care. I don't have a father that I'm trying to make proud by saying, look, Dad, I did it.
I'm too busy crooning and pooning.
Anyways, that's Sauce and Toss for this week. That was pretty good, eh? Ryan, good Sauce and Toss this week. That was really well done.
Let's touch on a couple of quick pieces of news, and then we will go into some questions because there's some doozies. Calgary Flames fired or relieved Darryl Sutter.
He's gonna go back to picking up hay bales.
He's fine. He's got his cup rings. I was listening to Eric Francis on Donnie and Dolly this morning, and I forgot about a few things this year that happened, and it clearly, now it's all out in the open in the nicest way possible that Huberdeau did not fit in with Darryl Sutter, and they did not really jive. Not that they didn't get along, but it didn't mesh. And then I was immediately reminded of when... What?
The Jacob Pelche thing?
What was that?
It's when Jacob Pelche made his debut, and I think he had a really pretty good game where he scored his first goal. And then, and the presser was like, "Who? What number was he?"
Yeah.
And then in a French-Canadian interview, Huberdeau, I think the last few days, just came out and said "Yeah, that's not good. You don't do that. That did not sit well with us."
Nothing, and neither did where he said that when Huberdeau left the bench, Darryl Sutter says in the media, I think he went to go take a shit. The novelty of Darryl, wore off pretty quick after they had a really good last season, flamed out in the playoffs, and
that's why he pay us the big bucks.
Great playoffs, bad season.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a pretty poopy environment, and everything kind of coming out today kind of confirmed it. Frank Zaravelli had an amazing tweet or report this week saying he was told Darryl Sutter expressed frustration for the power play. The answer from the players was, "We didn't work on the power play one time this season." Literally not once. So if you want to be critical of the power play, maybe we should have worked on it.
Oh my God, dude.
And it's just goes to show when things aren't working well, like it's not a fun place to be. We saw that in Vancouver this year too. And
Well, my thing is, where does Calgary go from here, Ryan? You got Kadri, the Huberto extension kicks in. Mackenzie Weegar, that's great. You know, I think he signed that 6 or 7 year deal at a pretty decent little cap hit.
yeah,
Jacob Markstrom seems to be Jacob Markstrom. You got Dustin Wolf coming up, who seems to be more than ready for. You know, he won his first start in the NHL, NHL Golden or AHL Golden Boy.
yeah.
Like, where do you go from here? Like, man, you gave a lot of money to a lot of players that are now aging.
The only positive.
Do you bring in Bruce? Is Bruce the guy that you're like, this is the fun guy? You had Darryl, now you have Bruce, who's like, hey guys, I'm bringing Bruce. There it is to Cowtown. Oh, that's a good. You know what? Hey. I got a question for you.
It's a great idea.
I got a
because
question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think let's hypothetical, Bruce Boudreau's hired in Calgary? Do you think Calgary Flames fans then start Bruce? There it is. Oh,
I think so.
I think so too. I think so too. I think
you want to know,
him.
And it's because it followed him when he was doing TSN trade deadline coverage, and they brought it there. Like that's his now.
Yeah, amen.
And it's like when the Lou chants when he went back to Florida.
Yeah,
and they still did it. So yeah, they would do it, and that scratching the surface and a half-baked quick idea. Bruce Boudreau makes a fair bit of sense because he's got to get a lot out of a on paper good core.
Yep, 100% agree with you. Can't wait for Calgary Flames. Bruce, there it is, shirts. It's going to be wonderful.
Kevin Weeks, he said that sources were telling him Linus Ullmark was playing through a debilitating and painful injury that limited his mobility and technique. Oh. That makes a hell of a lot of sense based on what we saw from the Boston Bruins later in the series. Wild to see what happened to them.
It was. I was pretty shocked. Like that's pretty rough. I think it was just like, damn. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, yeah, I was like, what the hell? That is, you were up 3-1, and like choke jobs. Like, this is, Boston has had some of the greatest choke jobs in NHL history. If it's giving up that 3-0 lead in the series against the Flyers.
Yeah.
Claude Drew, what's up?
Losing 2 Stanley Cup finals with this core.
Yeah, true. But still, like, man, that was rough. You're up 3-1 in the series, and then Matthew Tkachuk took it personal. Chucky took it personal, Ryan.
I love him. Ugly rat-faced fella.
Love
just
it.
So good at hockey.
So arrogantly good at hockey. Just, God damn it, Ola Levy. God damn it. He's 25. I'm sorry, he's 25. Like, can we just...
It's such a genius move, too. Like, you had players that were, producing, very well, but their big ticket contract was coming up, and you found buyers for him, and you were able to sign Tkachuk in his prime for as long as possible. Like
Bo Horvat is being paid 8.5. What Tkachuk is getting paid? What 9.5? I think so.
That sounds about right, and it makes a lot of sense.
Man, Lou, what are you doing?
Rick Bowness. We don't really touch on this.
Rick Bowness. Everyone knows what Rick Bowness did. Just like
Rick's kind of
the fire. The house is already on fire, and you come up and you torch everyone, and it's like, yeah, guess what? There's shit in the room, and a lot of this core is not going to be back. If that's Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele, Dubois already wanting to go to Montreal.
How about Hellebuck's comments?
Hallie coming out and just being like, yeah, we need to see what's going on here. If I'm going to be part of the plans, what happened?
Yeah,
what happened?
Sorry, this is friggin' nuts. There was a combined no-hitter, Mariners Oakland going into the 6th, and with like rookie pitchers, and the M's just broke up their no-hitter because now they tied it up at 1. But just like, there is the most nonsensical baseball game happening over here.
Do you know what I miss the most?
What's that?
I've grown very fond of eating peanuts at a ball game.
Can
I don't
I?
know what it is. It was great when I did it, and I remember when I asked you when you were sitting beside me. I'm like, Ryan, can I just put the shells underneath? Can I just be throw them on the ground? He's like, yeah.
Crack them on the ground, baby.
And I was like, this is the height of luxury.
I gotta tell you, this is a PSA for all the sports fans out there. If you kind of want to go to a game, and you're not, don't stress about the outcome. Just go to the game. We went to the Mariners, played the Jays on Saturday in the Sky Dome. Oddly packed. Everybody from Canada's flying in to look at their new renos. Mariners had a rookie pitcher that was just brought up for a spot start. I thought it'd be a bullpen game. The kid threw a perfect game through 6, and into the 7th, he was throwing a no-hitter before it broke up. Like, the game was flying by with the pitch clock. It was domination. And him and Gosman were having a pitching duel. I was worried it'd be a 10-9 loss or the Mariners would get shit kicked. They wound up losing 1-0 in extras, but we didn't leave our seats to do our little walk around till the 8th inning. Like, it was one of the crazier things I've seen. So they lose, wake up Sunday morning, contemplate going to the game, and I'm like, I don't want to more baseball. It's raining, kind of tired. Let's do other things. Mariners hit a grand slam in the first. The Jays put up 8 runs in the second and third. Mariners chip away. Big Dumper ties it up in the 8th. They win it. Big Dumper hits another 2-run jack in the 10th, and I'm sitting a 15-minute train ride up the road in Toronto, being like, I am full of regret. So this is a PSA to the kids out there.
Go to the game.
Don't worry about the outcome. Anything can happen in sports. Go to the game.
Anything can happen once you get in. Hello, Vancouver Canucks fans. Anything can happen once you get in.
Hey, a little bit of Canucks news.
What?
Well, Rick Tocchet was on the missing curfew.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah, he was. Okay.
I don't have any gripes with these guys. They, Shane O'Brien and Scotty Upshall are exactly who you think they would be. That's fine. They're
take them as they are.
They haven't done anything to concern me or worry me, and they're kind of picking up the slack that Chicklets isn't. Rick Tocchet was on missing curfew, and he was raving about Quinn Hughes, and he called him captain material, and he said Huggy has really made that trajectory to be captain. They asked about Elias Pettersson, and he said the next level for Pettersson is on the leadership front, and said that he was uncomfortable speaking in front of his teammates. I imagine as given a speech. So really neat dynamic what's happening in the Canucks core. Maybe read a bit more into Quinn Hughes on the last day of the last home game where he took the mic and addressed the crowd and addressed the fans and, after Bo Horvat's comments. But maybe they're putting a C on old Huggy Bear's sweater next year.
I love this idea that Quinn Hughes, because Quinn Hughes is basically Robert Pattinson in Batman. Every time you cross him, he's just in this emo, he's seen some shit, he's in it, and he's always in it. And he's like, oh man, I'm doing. Yeah, give it to the Dark Knight. Give it to Batman Hughes. Give it to Quinn.
Man, every time you look at him,
PD just wants to chill. Let him chill.
Every time you look at Quinn Hughes, he's half asleep in his cubby, just waiting for the game to start. That guy's cool as a cucumber.
He's just getting smelling salts, being like, "Whoa, those work." Whoa. All right, Ryan. Questions?
Do you have them in front of you?
No, I do not.
Okay, then I'm going to be awarding question of the week.
All right.
And man, there are some good ones here. Let's go to a fun one here. Marcus, I think he's a first-time question asker. He asked 2. I'm going to ask him both. What are the pros and cons of open ice legal hits? This playoffs saw some doozies, some big time, some big cheddar hits, as I like to call them.
Are there? Open ice hits, depending on how they're delivered, really entertaining. They set a physical presence for one team in terms of intimidation. Seeing one of your teammates get hit, it's it takes a little bit of time for you to be like, whoa, shit. It's a momentum shifter. And it's a tone setter. Negatives, hits can go wrong very easily.
Yep.
And when these hits go wrong, people get really, really hurt. And when people get really, really hurt, it's not just like a bump and a bruise and they're back on. We've seen it. Enough of this stuff happens. This can be a lifetime thing. This can be career issue, career ending. So do the pros outweigh the negatives? I mean, that's for people who play hockey to say. It's not for me. I played a little bit of hockey here or there. I'm a sport in terms of an analytic and fan perspective. The players have to be the ones to say, you know what, it's not worth it anymore. Or these hits can't. They're just not in the thing. So if they want to go into CBA negotiation with the NHLPA, they can figure that out themselves. But yeah, those are pros and negatives.
I like that train of thought, and I agree with you. I also, that's not going to go in. They're not going to debate it because open ice hits tend to generally happen when you put yourself in a vulnerable spot.
Oh, Timo Meier got trucked by Jacob Trouba, but that was Timo Meier going through the middle of the ice, admiring a pass, and not realizing that Jacob Trouba had just switched off onto the ice.
You can go down the middle of the ice, but there are consequences. So that's one of the reasons. Like that's a pro and a con. Like it is, and it's a tough game, and we're not. I think we're a long way from that. But I really like that question.
Yeah, great question.
He also asked Bednar, Craig, or what's his first name? Jacob.
Jared Bednar.
Jared Bednar. I gotta tell you this, Arash.
Yes, sir.
I think at least 3 times I've been driving with Amanda, whatever, and I will forget the name of the coach of the Colorado Avalanche, and I will just like turn to her in the car as I'm driving, like, can you Google who's the Colorado Avalanche head coach, but don't tell me who it is, and she does, and then I'm like,
damn it.
No, she doesn't tell me who it is, and I'm just like driving for like 30 seconds longer, and I'm just like, this is Jared Bednar?
Oh, it turns out it is Jared Bednar. Oh, damn.
So Jared Bednar, Mike Sullivan, John Cooper. What makes these coaches successful? Personality, hockey acumen, blessed with talented players.
The 3 are Jared Bednar, John Cooper, and
Mike Sullivan.
Mikey Sullivan. It's a mixture of a lot of things. I feel like they're all uniquely different in their own perspective. Like Jared Bednar is very soft-spoken.
Yeah.
Bit more of a player's coach in that way. Obviously, probably has systems. Mike Sullivan is, we had him in Vancouver. He has that torts in him, but again, very structured, oriented, and tells it like it is. Holds players to a very high accountability and expectation. John Cooper seems to be like a person who loves the game and understands his team and understands his core. You see these behind the scenes vignettes or videos where he comes and he talks to his team being like, hey guys, like we've been here before. It's so much like he's one of the guys, one of the people on the team, where he always knows that.
Arash, you made a great term. You said a great term there that I couldn't agree with more, and that's understanding your core.
Yeah.
And like those 3 things that Marcus mentioned are all, you are blessed with talented players for sure, but you also understand them and you are able to connect with your core in a way that benefits them, and then the rest of the team can feed off of and work off of that connection with your core. And all of like Mike Sullivan is a hard ass, a disciple of torts, but Sidney Crosby and Geno Malkin and Chris Letang, they all resonated and they like that. And because of that core, that trickle down of work ethic and just mentality to the game will just seep in through the rest. So like if you can find a head coach in whatever capacity that works with those, that gets the most out of their core and their best players, I just feel like it's a trickle down.
Well, it is great because if you can find that coach that resonates with the core, then that's half your battle, because now you don't care about the auxiliary pieces. You try and bring in the auxiliary pieces that work, but as a coach, you're like, well, the horses that are going to get us there are these guys.
Yeah.
We need to bring people around them. So that was very much like the Pittsburgh MO. They'd bring in David Perron, and they're like, David Perron's not working. Ship out David Perron. James Neal came in, worked for a little bit. James Neal's not working. Ship out James Neal. Just swap these parts in and out, and just see what clicks. You know, Phil came, and Phil in Pittsburgh. I love
Phil, love it. I love it.
You tell that fat fuck, I'll quit. I'll fucking quit. I swear to God.
Come in and weigh me myself.
Good one, Randy. Good one.
Jeff C., I believe, alpaca wrangler, asked me, or asked us, the biggest difference between the city of Toronto and Vancouver.
I wouldn't know, Ryan. You tell me.
The city of Toronto is a real city. It is like your major North American cities. It is gigantic. It goes forever. There's so many boroughs and communities and neighborhoods. Vancouver is essentially a big, small town.
Yeah. Everyone knows each other. We've all made out with someone that someone else knows. I learned that when I was single. I was like, damn, like, hi, what? This is really weird. Everyone knows each other, you know. I don't really get it.
And there's very few. There could be hot spots in every neighborhood that you got to go to. In Vancouver, they're kind of in the same spots.
There are streets. That's the thing.
Yes.
There are streets in Vancouver that you have to go to.
There are not neighborhoods. There are great terminology. A guy I worked with at Global, when you go to like Tokyo and you're in like the busiest intersection in the world, like Vancouver is a sleepy fishing village compared to that.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
we have one diner. It's called Lucy's that everyone goes to when everything else is closed. That's it.
It's like one of the few things that is open 24 hours.
I mean, Lucy's is great.
Yeah, but like, for those that aren't in Vancouver, I will just say this: like, this city gets ready for bed 7 nights a week around 9:45.
Yeah, they're tucked in. They've had their edible, and they're just like watching The Office and being like, "Night's over.
Can't wait.
We're good.
Big hike tomorrow."
Huge hike. I'm gonna go get some pizza from the Iranian man who's always rude, but he makes such good pizza that I love.
Okay, well let's do question of the week then.
Okay.
This could tear the fabric of the podcast apart.
Go for it.
This comes from Alistair over in Victoria, Patreon backer. Question of the week. He decreed it himself, and I'm giving that confidence to him. Pizza from Pomegranate, or wherever you went for pizza in Toronto. As I was saying, that's what I did when I missed the game.
Uh-huh.
I had some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life in Toronto.
This podcast is over. Fuck you.
North of Brooklyn.
North of Brooklyn. You went to a Brooklyn pizzeria, not even in Brooklyn. Get out. This podcast is done. You're never allowed in my restaurant. No. I'm not even. The chicken pesto off the menu. Off the menu. Anytime if you tell Amanda right now. Tell Amanda right now you're banned from your. I'm gonna go tell my dad. This is the biggest betrayal since Bo Horvat left Vancouver. Huh? Huh, Ryan? What? Did I not put enough cheese on it for you? Huh? Is that what it is? You'd like me to just be more cheese? Huh? More onions?
Well, maybe.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad. Well, you know what? I'll explain this about pizza. There is a pizza for every mood. There is a pizza. There is not like I have one pizza place. Sometimes you're in a different mood for a different kind of pizza. And it depends entirely on your mood. Like sometimes, dude, I just want a shitty, well, not shitty, but like very average Domino's pizza. Sometimes I'm like, I want Pizza Hut. And I want to get that thin, airy, lots of oil on the bottom. You know?
I would say pomegranate pizza.
I don't need your pity.
Is applicable to more of my moods than North of Brooklyn.
Okay. All right. Great save, Luongo.
Alistair and Grace in the Discord also asked. They both asked, who'd rather see, who you're cheering for in a Toronto or Edmonton Stanley Cup final?
Toronto.
Edmonton.
Yeah, no. I can't do Alberta. Sorry.
That's fair.
I can't do it.
He doesn't want to take an Alberta break.
No, I just can't do it. I just don't. No. I had a run-in with an Alberta, with Edmonton Oilers fans 2 years ago at a Boston Pizza, and I'm screw the Edmonton Oilers, man. He was with his mom. He was getting drunk at Boston Pizza with his mom, and then he was being really loud and obnoxious. I'm like, dude, like, we fucking, like, congrats. You guys took 5 first overall picks to wait to get the one guy that was so foolproof. And now you're like, yeah, we did. Go Oilers. Go Oilers. We did. We're so good. Gretzky, even though I wasn't born yet. Get the fuck out of town, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. I hate people.
Boy,
This
what a
was
traumatic experience this Boston pizza was.
No, it was great. He came up to our table and he was like, you talk shit to my mom. I'm like, no, dude, your mom's talking shit to me, and I'm talking about sports. Like, fucking Jesus Christ, you're drinking a Corona bucket at a fucking Boston Pizza. What is happening to your life?
Some of us drink Corona buckets at Boston Pizza.
Show's over.
Hey, we should go to a Boston Pizza again and watch some playoff hockey.
Do you want to? You want to pick a rainy day? We'll go to Boston Pizza and write it off? Because we'll talk.
Or maybe in 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll write it off.
Hey, in 2 weeks, pal, I'm taking a couple days off, and I'm going to be like, it's
perfect.
Mom, my brother, it's your mess now. I kept this house apart. I kept this house afloat. Just like we've kept it afloat since Gita left to run for office. Ryan and I kept it afloat. Gita, she wants to be in the 3rd district. She wants to run for council.
The 3rd district?
Yeah, I've been watching The Wire, sorry.
On that note, we'll wrap up the podcast there. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying a shitload of hockey. Again, patreon.com/pucksonnet for Rock'em Sock'em April. This is a series I wouldn't mind continuing. And yeah, this podcast will be on YouTube. You've been watching it. It's going out at the same time as the podcast, audio podcast.
Yep.
We're going to go into 5 minutes for paying, which is only available for you, the $5 Patreon backers. On that note, because that's the last thing I say before I wrap the show up, we'll see you next Monday probably. Have a good weekend. Oh, and Mother's Day is on the 14th, so keep that in mind.
You gonna put more cheese on it, huh? That's what you want. You just want me covered in cheese, don't you, Ryan? That's how you like it. That's how you like it. More cheese on my pizza.